Stop water problems in your basement or crawl space before you're in too deep. We're Seagate Roofing and Waterproofing. We have the experience and expertise to solve your water problems. We rebuild foundations, straighten bowed walls, and waterproof basements. Find us fast in the Ameritech Yellow Pages or call 244-LEAK. For free estimates, excellent work, and the area's best warranties, we are the local experts. Call Seagate now.
244-LEAK, Seagate.
We're here with Tom Elders from Seagate Roofing and
Foundation
Yes,
Services.
sir. I got to tell you, Tom, we've been talking, you and your son Scott talking about getting you involved, but it's now at a point where we've had emails where they want to see what they can do to help their basements because it's unreal.
Yeah, especially the last 1 to 2 weeks, the weather's been incredible in terms of the amount of moisture in the ground, and it's moving a lot of foundations, causing a lot of them to get wet. Well, I know our phones are kind of ringing off the hook right now.
It makes it weird because as crazy as the weather has been and everybody's having these problems, you can't get some of your equipment in because of the moisture problems getting the excavation part, and it makes it kind of tough, doesn't it?
Yeah, some of the sites, depends on the job site itself. Like this one isn't too bad because we've got a driveway and we've got grass, but some of them where you don't have the height that this has. Right. And the things in place, it gets real tough. The mud just basically keeps us off some of the jobs.
Well, this is actually a unique job that you're doing here, and we're actually going to be able to show 2 different processes here. You've actually had one wall that's completely gone.
Yeah. One side of the house we're actually just waterproofing, an exterior waterproofing project. The other side of the house was actually a wall straightening job, and then we found out that there was no footer under the wall and we couldn't go any farther. We had to replace the wall. And
a lot of that's happening, especially in the older homes and when you get this kind of weather too.
Yeah, this weather, the ground's absorbed about as much moisture as it can, and as it absorbs that moisture, it expands and it pushes on the walls and causes water to come in, causes walls to move. This is a pretty good time to find out if you've got any problems.
Well, we're going to go back now and get a little messy and see what they're doing and putting this wall back together. Wow. Just looking at that, I freak out. 2 different separate jobs for you here, and this is where, when all else fails, just put a new wall in, huh?
Yeah, this one we really had no option because of the fact that there was no footer under this wall to begin with, and once the pressure of the house came off of the wall, it just started to move so much that there was no way to keep it in place. So at that point, we made the decision that it was time to replace it, which meant removing all of the debris, the excess wall, pouring new footers, which we've done, and now we're laying the new wall in.
Well, most people, my house was built in 1926. What are some of the things, if people are going to look down in the basement and this may be a problem for them, what are some of the factors and signs that maybe they got a problem down there?
The first sign is going to be water. In most cases, coming in, not always, but in most cases, you're going to see some indications of water in your basement or indications of water sitting inside of the walls through the powdery effervescence that we see in the walls. But the big indication of this kind of problem is the movement of the wall itself. You're going to see it starting to buckle and crack. But buckling is usually the first sign, and that wall will actually just start to move in about eye level in the basement is where you'll see it. And that's a good time to call a contractor and have them come in and do an evaluation of that wall. Because if you take care of it early, there's a lot of prevention available for this. If we can get in there before it goes too far, we can save most walls. It doesn't have to get to this extreme. The majority of walls, if we get in there soon enough, we're going to save.
I've also had people tell me that if in your house, if your doors aren't closing right, that could maybe even be an indication that you got some problems.
It's a very good indication, and we'll see it in doors and windows both. And what that is, that's a situation where it's really not the wall, it's actually the footers of the foundation are either cracked or moving, and you're getting undulation in your house. And that's an entirely different process. That's called a piering process, where we actually go in and lift the structures and level them back out.
And we'll be seeing that here in a few weeks.
That'll be another project we have coming up.
Okay, what we're looking at, this is worst case scenario here.
This is worst case scenario, yes.
And very unique. On the other side of their house, they were in pretty good shape, so we were actually able to just do the waterproof.
Not as bad a shape over there, and it was a matter of eliminating the process, the water infiltrating the block and getting through into the foundation.
Well, we're going to go over there and we're going to look at that right now. Well, Tom, with their wall was pretty good.
It was better. It was a lot better than the other side, and it's an economic thing where this wall is structurally sound. It is moved a little bit, but it's not in real bad shape. But it was, as long as we can prevent it from getting any wetter than it was, and eliminate the water now, it should be fine.
Now with this, we don't have a footer on this side though, right?
We have somewhat of a footer under here. It's not as good as we'd like, but again, in the same token, if we can prevent any more damage to the wall, they'll get a lot more years out of this wall without replacing it.
Talk a little bit about this product that you've got on the wall itself. This is remarkable stuff.
This is a little different than what you see in most applications as far as foundations go. Today, most applications are spray-on. They're an emulsion that is sprayed on a pretty thin coat.
Okay.
And basically what happens to foundation coatings is they evaporate, they gas off. And over a period of years, if you were to dig up your basement, you probably won't see any coatings on it.
Wow.
This process we use is it's similar to an elastomeric coating. Literally, when we put it on here, if you were to let it dry and peel it off, you could stretch it. It's almost like rubber. It's almost like liquid rubber we put on. And that prevents this from gassing off. If you get any movement in the ground or the wall, it protects that. It protects the wall from that movement. It does not peel off or flake off or come off.
Well, not to mention too, you've got all new piping here that goes right into your tiling too, correct?
Yeah. Then there's one more process that's not here yet. Is we apply a 2-inch foam insulation board to the outside of this.
Okay.
That'll go right along this wall. The guys haven't got it in yet, so it's 2 inches thick. Goes all the way down to the footer. That goes on, and then we're going to backfill with stone up to about 12 to 18 inches at the top of the wall, or to the ground level. Then we put a fabric called geothermal fabric in that sets across the stone and prevents the dirt from filtering down. Then we put the topsoil back.
And that's a big problem with a lot of the installations where even some of the contractors where they don't put enough stone in to make the tile do what it's supposed to do.
Absolutely. The dirt gets down, plugs it up, or in many cases we dig these up, we'll only find the stone just a couple inches above the tile.
Unreal.
We backfill within 18 inches of the surface.
Well, this is one of them jobs, I'll tell you. Well, Tom, this job, kind of give us a little bit of a timeline of what people will be expecting if they got to have something like this done.
We'll start on the other side with the waterproofing side. That's a 2-day process. Dig it up, haul out the dirt, repair any cracks, coat it, put the insulation board on, backfill. It's about 2 days. A job like this where we get in, where we have to support the house, replace the wall, we're probably 5 days to 6 days, because there's a process of pouring footers, letting it set up, getting the wall in, then again we have to go back and coat this wall, put our drain tile in, put our foam board up, and then backfill. So this is a little longer process, about 5 to 6 days in a job like this.
And you don't have to have all 4 of your sides done. Some people just have to only have one side done.
Majority of the work we do is 1 or 2 walls.
Oh, okay.
Once in a while we'll get into a whole house, but that's a rule. It's a problem. Sometimes it's a driveway side that's caused it. Sometimes it's a grading problem that's lasted for years. It's gone over, and so there's a variety of things that cause it.
Well, we're going to be showing a little bit more about this, and you've got some other jobs that are going to be coming up. We're going to be showing that too. Not to mention maybe some roofing jobs.
Yep, we have plenty of roofing jobs going on.
Okay, Tom, thank you very much.
Okay.